Imagine reviving Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in 2025 and handing him a pair of AirPods. Would he be dazzled by modern sound or disoriented by TikTok trends? Would he marvel at our musical technology or recoil at influencers lip-syncing for likes? Would he admire Billie Eilish or simply wonder why she's always whispering? And more importantly, would he survive a full Doja Cat music video without spontaneously combusting? Welcome to History Reacts, where old school wisdom meets our new school world. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, born in 1756 in Salzburg, Austria, was a child prodigy, international superstar, and one of the greatest composers who ever lived. By the age of 5, he was writing symphonies. By his teens, he was flexing on Europe's most elite stages. His work, genius. His personality, a little chaotic. His legacy, immortal. He composed operas, chamber music, piano concertos, works so powerful they still fill concert halls today. But in his own time, he wasn't always respected. He hustled for gigs. He clashed with rich patrons. He died broke. Basically, he was the original struggling artist with a passion for powdered wigs and a shockingly weak merch game. So, what would Mozart make of today's music business? Let's start with the sound. He'd be blown away by the tech. Recording, sampling, streaming, and probably deeply confused by auto-tune, like, lovely melody, but why does it sound like it's coming from a talking toaster? Once he got over the shock, he'd likely appreciate the range, the emotion, the experimentation. He might vibe with Billie Eilish's minimalism. He'd probably admire Kendrick Lamar's orchestral ambition. He might even say Taylor Swift has a solid understanding of theme and variation, though he'd wonder why her fans are always crying in sequin dresses and naming cats after their exes. He'd be stunned by Beyoncé's vocal power, Olivia Rodrigo's angst, and Bad Bunny's ability to dominate global charts while wearing Crocs. And yes, he'd 100% fall down a Blackpink rabbit hole. After all, no one is immune. But the industry? That's where it gets tricky. Mozart composed under royal patronage. His art was tied to class, court, and commission. Today's musicians answer to something else, the algorithm. Attention is currency. Virality is the gatekeeper. It's not about symphonies, it's about streams. And he'd definitely raise an eyebrow at how many artists get famous for dancing badly in their kitchen. Once upon a time, showing ankle was a scandal. Now it's just content. Back in Mozart's day, you needed training, funding, and time. Today, a viral beat and 15 seconds on TikTok might launch a career. Democratizing? Maybe. But also a race for attention, not artistry. It's eroded the space to grow, fail, and evolve, causing a generation of artists to prioritize visibility over vision. When every song is a pitch to the algorithm and every chorus is written for scroll-stopping impact, there's less room for risk, experimentation, or depth. Creativity hasn't disappeared, but it's had to adapt to survive in a system that often rewards trends over truth. And AI? That would both fascinate and terrify him. Machines that can compose music in his style in seconds? He'd be impressed. Until he realized people are using it to score YouTube vlogs and clickbait ads. Imagine spending your life perfecting a requiem, only to have it repurposed for a montage of someone cleaning their bathroom with baking soda. But Mozart wouldn't just listen, he'd analyze. Because under all the genre mashups and streaming metrics, he'd still recognize the essentials: melody, emotion, storytelling. He'd find artists who care. He'd spot those who innovate, and he'd probably try to collaborate with them by next Tuesday. Picture it, Mozart and Grimes in Symphony No. 6, the cyberpunk remix. Also, let's be honest, He'd have a synth pop side project and a verified Instagram with the bio. Composer, vibes curator, definitely not dead. So what's the final verdict? Mozart would be overwhelmed at first, but ultimately inspired. He'd miss the depth of the orchestra, the focus of a concert hall, the silence before a first note. But he'd also see the raw creativity still burning in modern music. He'd say, whether you're writing for a symphony or a Spotify playlist, what matters is the soul behind the sound. What do you think? Would Mozart embrace the noise or ask us to turn it down? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe to History Reacts. And never forget, Mozart walked so your iTunes playlist could run.